This aircraft first flew when Eisenhower was president, and it will still be dropping bombs when your grandchildren are adults. The B-52 Stratofortress is older than every person watching this video, yet it remains one of the most feared weapons on the planet. And what you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about military aviation. The Boeing B-52 Stratofortress made its first flight in 1952. That's over 70 years ago. It was designed to carry nuclear bombs over the Soviet Union during the height of the Cold War. And here's what doesn't make sense. While every other bomber from that era has been retired, scrapped, or turned into museum pieces, the B-52 is scheduled to remain in active service until at least 2050. That means this Cold War relic will have served for nearly a century. But here's the thing most people miss. The B-52 isn't just surviving, it's dominating. And the fifth capability on this list is so powerful, so strategically devastating, that it alone justifies why this bomber will never be replaced. Let's break down the 5 insane capabilities that make the B-52 unstoppable. Capability number 1. Extreme global strike range. The B-52 can fly over 8,000 miles without refueling. That's New York to Tokyo, Los Angeles to London. But here's the insane part. With aerial refueling, the B-52's range becomes essentially unlimited. During Operation Desert Storm, B-52s launched from Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, flew a 35-hour mission to Iraq, dropped their payload, and returned home without ever landing. 35 hours in the air, non-stop. This isn't just about distance, it's about strategic presence. The United States maintains the ability to strike any target, anywhere on Earth, within hours. No forward bases required, no warning, no time to prepare a defense. So how is this even possible? The answer lies in the aircraft's design. 8 turbojet engines provide incredible fuel efficiency at high altitude. The airframe was built with endurance in mind, not speed. While modern fighters burn fuel measured in minutes, the B-52 burns fuel measured in days. And here's what most people don't realize. This range capability forces adversaries into an impossible defensive calculation. You can't defend everywhere. You can't predict where the strike will come from. You can't even track every B-52 in the air because they operate from bases across multiple continents. This is why, during the Cold War, Soviet air defense networks had to cover their entire border perimeter. Thousands of miles, billions of dollars, all because of one aircraft's ability to appear anywhere, anytime. But global reach is only the beginning. Capability number 2. Insane payload capacity. The B-52 can carry 70,000 pounds of ordnance. That's equivalent to the weight of 6 fully loaded pickup trucks in bombs. To put this in perspective, a single B-52 carries more firepower than an entire squadron of modern fighter jets. It can deploy conventional bombs, cruise missiles, precision-guided munitions, sea mines, and nuclear warheads all from the same platform. But here's where it gets truly devastating. The B-52 doesn't just carry a lot of bombs. It carries the right bombs for any mission. Need to saturate an enemy airfield? Load up with Mark 82 500-pound bombs. You can carry 51 of them internally. Need to hit hardened bunkers from standoff range? Mount 20 AGM-86 cruise missiles on external pylons. And the insane part? This versatility makes the B-52 irreplaceable. Modern stealth bombers like the B-2 Spirit can only carry 16,000 pounds internally. That's less than a quarter of the B-52's capacity. Sure, the B-2 is invisible to radar, But if you need to obliterate an entire grid square, you send the B-52. During the Vietnam War, B-52s flew Operation Arc Light missions, carpet bombing campaigns that turned enemy positions into moonscapes. The psychological impact was so severe that North Vietnamese soldiers developed a condition called arc light syndrome, acute anxiety triggered by the sound of distant jet engines. This is strategic terror made airborne, and it's been refined over 7 decades. But carrying bombs is one thing. Delivering them with modern precision. That's capability number 3. Capability number 3, modern weapons integration. Here's what shocks most people. The B-52 can carry weapons that didn't exist when it was designed. Hypersonic missiles, GPS-guided smart bombs, long-range anti-ship cruise missiles. The platform is constantly evolving. In 2020, the Air Force successfully tested the AGM-183 AARRW, a hypersonic weapon capable of traveling over 15,000 miles per hour, launched from a B-52. Think about that. A bomber designed in the 1950s is now delivering Mark 20 weaponry that can strike any target on Earth in under an hour. But here's the insane part. The B-52 wasn't built for this. It was built for dropping gravity bombs. Everything else, cruise missiles, precision munitions, electronic warfare systems, has been retrofitted through continuous modernization programs. The latest upgrade, the B-52J variant, includes new Rolls-Royce engines, advanced radar systems, and full integration with the Joint Air-to-Surface Standoff missile. This allows the B-52 to strike targets from over 200 miles away, staying completely outside enemy air defense range. What most people don't realize is that this adaptability is intentional. The Air Force designed the B-52 with modular hardpoints and open architecture electronics. This means new weapon systems can be integrated without redesigning the entire airframe. Compare this to modern stealth bombers. The B-2 Spirit costs $2 billion per aircraft and requires specialized maintenance facilities. The B-52 costs less than $10 million per unit to maintain annually and can operate from rough airstrips if necessary. This is why, even with the new B-21 Raider entering service, the Air Force has no intention of retiring the B-52. They complement each other. The B-21 penetrates denied airspace. The B-52 delivers overwhelming firepower once air superiority is achieved. But even more terrifying than its weapons, its ability to survive. Capability number 4, unkillable design philosophy. The B-52 was built to survive nuclear war. Not just deliver nuclear weapons, survive nuclear war. And that design philosophy makes it nearly impossible to kill. Here's what that means in practice. The B-52 has 8 independent engines. Lose 2, you keep flying. Lose 4, you can still make it home. Hydraulic failure, the aircraft has multiple redundant systems. Electronics damaged, analog backups exist for critical flight controls. During the Vietnam War, a B-52 named Diamond Lil was hit by a surface-to-air missile over North Vietnam. The explosion destroyed the No. 6 engine and damaged the wing structure. The crew flew it back to base, landed safely, and the aircraft was repaired and returned to service within weeks. But here's the insane part. Modern air defenses are optimized to shoot down small, fast targets like fighter jets and cruise missiles. The B-52 is massive and slow. And that's actually an advantage. Why? Because the radar cross-section of a B-52 is so large that it overwhelms tracking systems designed for precision targeting. Surface-to-air missiles struggled to lock on to such a massive, diffuse heat signature. Electronic warfare suites jam guidance radars. Countermeasures dispensers flood the sky with chaff and flares. What most people don't realize is that the B-52 rarely operates alone. It's escorted by fighter jets, supported by electronic attack aircraft, preceded by suppression of enemy air defense missions. By the time a B-52 enters contested airspace, most of the threats have already been neutralized. And if all else fails, the B-52 operates at 40,000 feet, high enough that most modern air defense systems lose effectiveness. Its standoff weapons allow it to strike from 200 miles away, never entering the kill zone. This is layered survivability. Not stealth, not speed, just ruthless, engineered resilience. But the most shocking capability? That's number 5. Capability number 5, future-proofed until 2050 and beyond. This is the capability that changes everything. The B-52 will outlive every other bomber in US history. The B-1 Lancer, being retired, the B-2 Spirit, limited production run, the B-52, scheduled to fly until at least 2050. That's nearly a century of service. So how is this even possible? The answer lies in a concept called structural longevity and mission adaptability. The B-52's airframe was overbuilt. Engineers in the 1950s designed it with stress margins far beyond operational requirements because they didn't fully understand metal fatigue yet. This accidental over-engineering means the wings, fuselage, and tail can endure far more flight hours than originally planned. But here's the insane part. The Air Force isn't just maintaining these bombers. They're completely rebuilding them. New engines, new avionics, new radar, new weapons systems. The only original components are the basic airframe and landing gear. This is called the Ship of Theseus strategy. Replace every part over time, and the platform becomes essentially immortal. What most people don't realize is that this approach is cheaper and more effective than building new bombers. A brand new B-21 Raider costs approximately $700 million per aircraft. Re-engineering and modernizing a B-52, less than $50 million. And here's the strategic calculation that makes this capability truly devastating. Adversaries cannot plan around it. China is building air defenses to counter the B-21. Russia is developing hypersonic interceptors for next-generation threats. But the B-52, it just keeps evolving. Every time an enemy designs a countermeasure, the B-52 integrates a new weapon system that bypasses it entirely. This is fourth-generation warfare at its finest, not fighting the enemy's strength, not matching technology for technology, just relentless, unstoppable adaptation. And that's why, 70 years after its first flight, the B-52 Stratofortress remains the backbone of American air power. So why does this matter? Because the B-52 isn't just a bomber. It's a strategic statement. When a B-52 flies over the Pacific, it sends a message to China. Your coastal defenses mean nothing. When it circles the Black Sea, Russia knows their air defense networks can be bypassed. When it deploys to the Middle East, adversaries understand that overwhelming force is only hours away. This is deterrence, not through stealth, not through speed, but through certainty. The certainty that no matter where you are, no matter how prepared you think you are, the B-52 can reach you. And when it does, there's nothing left. Modern bombers like the B-2 and B-21 are scalpels, precision instruments for high-risk penetration missions. The B-52 is a sledgehammer, and sometimes that's exactly what you need. The B-52 Stratofortress is a paradox. Ancient yet unstoppable. Simple yet adaptable. Built for a war that never came. Now dominating wars that its designers never imagined. If this bomber shocked you, hit like, subscribe to Aviation Tech, turn on notifications, and comment B-52 to show you're part of the elite aviation community. Because while the world obsesses over stealth and hypersonics, the United States still relies on a 70-year-old bomber to maintain air dominance. And that should terrify anyone who doubts American air power.